Hi Avish, how are you? How are you all?
I'm good, thanks. You?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay, before we get into the cricket, my condolences to Praveen Gordon and also congrats to the Springboks. I think they beat the. I think I know they beat the All Blacks in Cape Town. So before we get into the cricket, what are your thoughts, Yuvi, on the passing of Praveen Gordon and as well as the Boks beating the All Blacks again?
Well, Praveen Gordon, amazing person. May his soul be blessed and may he rest in peace. Box beating the All Blacks, kind of expected at this point. Not happy about it because I'm an All Black fan, but yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, interesting. You, Avish?
Yeah, I mean, Praveen Gordon, great stalwart for the ANC. I mean, a great freedom fighter. I mean, a great man. Selfless community worker as well. So may his soul rest in peace. And yeah, I mean, the Bokke are playing amazing rugby at the moment. Eh? They've been really superb this year. And I think this is the best Springbok side in the history of the game.
Yeah, man. Not to sound controversial, but if someone had told me that an African guy like Sia Kolisi, who's such an inspirational figure, could captain the Springboks to two World Cup championships a couple of years ago or many more, I wouldn't have believed it. But I'm so happy to see it actually happening. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think Coach Rassi and Sia are an amazing combination, both of them. It's definitely a team effort, but I mean those two are really a brilliant combination, coach and captain.
Okay, starting with you, Yuvi. What were your thoughts on the Sri Lankans beating England in the third test and England overall winning the series 2-1?
I was kind of shocked at the result. But I expected England to win the series. 2-1, fair probably representation. But yeah, the third one, bit of a shocker. Yeah?
And you, Avish?
Yeah, I mean if you look at the result, well beaten in the end, England, and I think a bit of naivety about them, their approach in this game. I mean setting 325, and obviously having a lead of 59 after both teams have batted the first innings. I think their approach in the second innings lost them this game, Sid. I think they were very naive in the way that they played the Sri Lankan attack. And, Sri Lanka just chipped away, and kept on taking wickets. And they made good use of the conditions that, when England came out to bowl and try to defend that score, they didn't really make enough use. They were they were very wasteful. And yeah, I think it's a wake up call for this management and captain as well, in the sense that England, they can't approach this kind of game in every conditions. I mean, you've got to try and play the ball on merit at times. And if you look at some of those dismissals, some really soft dismissals from England in that second innings. And yeah, I mean, full credit to Sri Lanka. Hey, I mean, they to be honest with you, this is a great win. This is a famous win for them. And also, if I look at the series, they really competed really well compared to the West Indies. Compared to the West Indies series, where I mean, the Windies were actually, they really competed for very few sessions.
Yeah.
I think if you look at that first test at Manchester as well, they really did compete, and they could have won that game if they had taken early wickets. So yeah, what an innings from Pratap Nissanka. Brilliant knock. 127 in a fourth innings is no mean feat, hey? And I think he should be given all the plaudits. And you can see the Sri Lankan side with Jayasuriya. They're in the right direction. They're going in the right direction. Be it T20, be it ODI or tests, he's taking them in the right direction.
Yeah, but to be brutally honest, I think had England played against better opposition throughout this whole summer, I think they may have not won. Maybe they would have maybe won the series, but I think they would have had to really graft because the catching has been appalling, man. I don't know if you noticed how many drop catches how many catches they've been dropping, and then I just think of this test match they were just retarded, man. The way they batted in the first innings when they were in great positions, The way they just bowled, they fielded, this was like unacceptable, man. But I think they'll have to up their game against India for sure. I think if they play like this against India, India will win this series easily, whether it's 3-0, 3-1. I don't know if you agree with me, Avish.
Yeah, as I'm going back to what I just said, naivety. There's a bit of naivety in the way that they played. And I do think there was a bit of underestimation of the opposition here in this third test, because, I mean, obviously they'd won the series. And, everything was looking rosy. So basically what they did think, after having that 59-run first innings lead, just come out there and play our shots and we'll get the runs. But unfortunately, cricket doesn't work like that. Sometimes you've got to respect the opposition and you've got to grind out those results. So it's very unlike the way they played in that second innings. And yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what cost them the test match. So yeah, I mean, if you think about it now, everything is like gearing up to the Ashes in 2025. And they've got to try and caution their approach when they go overseas, because they can get exposed really, really badly. And yeah, I mean, the catching was appalling. I mean, I know the debutant dropped an absolute dolly at mid-on, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
absolute dolly.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
They've really got to caution their approach going overseas, because they could get exposed really badly against top quality opposition.
Okay, Yuvi.
I gotta say that
Okay.
the England versus India series, it brings its own share of problems, because the Indian team isn't very settled. That's one of the big problems. They've got a problem of plenty, which is a good problem to have, but by the same token, it does create a lot of unrest. India have adopted a strategy of sticking with a core nucleus of players, and regardless of whether they're performing or not, they still play them, and they give them the opportunity to work themselves back into form. And it works to some degree, yes, but by the same token, if those guys are not performing for a prolonged period of time, then you've got someone coming in who doesn't have a lot of experience at that level. And I just hope to God that's not going to happen to India against England.
Yeah, but hopefully India can finally win a series in England. It's been so long, but we'll get to that when that time comes. Yuvi, what are your thoughts on this T20 series so far against Australia? So far, it's been a good T20 series. It's 1-1 actually so far. So...
That's a good series to have to watch, because two really talented teams. For me, probably two of the best T20 teams in the world.
Okay.
I definitely think, as far as the T20 openers in the world are concerned, you've got your two best setup. And I haven't actually watched the matches, to be honest with you. But I'm excited.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, and Avish, what's your thoughts been?
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect anything less. I mean, these are two age-old rivals going head to head. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It'll be two exciting batting lineups. I mean, Travis Head and Fraser McGurk up the order for Australia in years to come is going to be really explosive. I mean, we haven't seen the best of Fraser as yet, but given more time, he will show. I mean, obviously, Travis Head he's a match winner. He's a match winner, and Livingston as well. I mean, what an innings from him the other day to actually get England over the line. So he's an absolute freak on his day. I mean, he can take apart any bowling attack. So yeah. So is it a best of 3 series?
Yes. Today.
Okay. So today is the decider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, this could go either way. Hey, it's a really tough one to call. But I would just say England being at home, I'd probably see them as slight favorites. I'd say around 55-45, but it could be a lot closer than that, eh?
I'm actually surprised why McGurk is an opening. They put him at number 3, I think, in the last match. Let me just double check that. Just don't want to assume anything, but I do remember he didn't. I think he batted at. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it is. He batted actually at number 3. Yeah, I was right. If you see that, He made 50
Wow.
of 31 balls. I don't know why he's not opening the batting. Okay, fine, sure, it's playing well, but look at this. 28 of 24. It's kind of boring compared to this, 50 of 31. So I don't know if you concur with me, Yuvi, that McGurk should be opening.
No, I like him at 3 in English conditions.
Okay.
Swinging ball, I don't want him opening. Yeah.
Fair enough. Do you concur with that, Avish?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind him opening because if you saw in the IPL for Delhi, he was really good. He was really destructive against the new ball. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about capitalizing that power play, maximizing that power play. And I think McGurk and Head are a different prospect for the opposition than say a Matthew Short and Head, where Matthew Short is a lot more kind of circumspect. And we obviously know Travis Head is just going to swing his bat. That's how he plays. He's just going to go for those shots. So McGurk and Travis Head could work up the order. But yeah, I mean, we will have to see. I think they're trying to obviously, transition him into the right way. So they probably want to see what he can do at number 3. And he's already proved himself at number 3 with 58. So I think for the future, he's probably going to be opening the innings for Australia. I mean, after the retirement of Warner, he's probably the next in line.
I come back to conditions. I just think it's conditions that dictate it.
Okay, fair enough. Because I know in the IPL, the pitches were just roads. So I think we can't really maybe make that compare between English conditions and IPL, because I think I'll have to probably go with UV on this one, where we go batting number 3. And also, it's not really much difference. It's just one batsman going out, and then we go coming in, so it's fine. Don't think that's much of a change.
No. The reason why I said open, it's just his approach to batting.
Of course, yeah.
He's just got this swash. He's got this swashbuckling approach to batting, especially in the power play.
Yeah, I would go with either. I would go with either option. It's not much of a trace match. Although you have to agree with me is that if McGurk was batting in Indian conditions for Australia, you would say he should be opening the batting, right?
Oh, he'd have to open.
Okay, good. At least we all concur on that. But do you think England's going to win the series today?
No, I'm going with Australia.
Wow. Okay, interesting. I'm going with England because I just don't like Australia.
I'm going with England.
Okay, I didn't realize that they're actually having a 50 over series, and this is going to be the best of. Oh my gosh, they got more 50 over matches than T20. How interesting is that? 5 ODI. Hey, this is going to be very difficult to call. I'm going to go with Australia 3-2. What about you, UV?
I would go 4-1.
For Australia?
Yeah.
Okay, and you, Avish?
I'll go 3-2 England. Home conditions, 3-2. 3-2 to England.
Okay, so Avish says home conditions 3-2, and UV, why do you say 4-1 to Australia?
I just think Australia are missing a few key bowlers for the series. I think they're resting Cummins, who's really crucial for them in ODIs with his change-ups. I think they're resting him because they want him to play Sheffield Shield and obviously get ready for the India series this November.
Of course, that's going to be mouth-watering.
Yeah.
And UV, why do you say 4-1 to Australia?
The same reason that Avish just mentioned. The old-timers are gone. They've got exciting new prospects. I think they're going to roll over.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that. And we'll get to the last segment, which is going to be the... Okay, I know the series may be boring for you guys, but since it's coming out soon, India and Bangladesh, let's hear your thoughts, UV, on India and Bangladesh. I think it's a 2-test series. You think India's going to win this 2-0?
They will.
Just straight line. Of course, it's easy.
I'm not happy about it, but I just don't think Bangladesh has enough to fight India at this point.
How come you're not happy about it, UV?
I don't like the makeup of the current Indian team. The more they win, the more they think they're doing the right thing, and they're not.
Okay. Controversial.
So I'm not happy about it, but the problem is that Bangladesh don't have it. They don't have enough. I'm not going to say skill. I mean, they've got some skillful players. I just don't think they have the backbone to fight the Indian squad.
Interesting. And do you, Avish?
I mean, when was the last time that India lost a test series at home? 2012. That was 12 years ago.
Yeah, and I remember
So
England beat India. I remember England beat India
yeah,
in that
it was
series.
England. So I mean,
Hmm.
remember something: when you go into India,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have a prolific batting and bowling lineup,
Hmm. Hmm.
which I think Bangladesh have really improved, and they can't be taken lightly now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think India has got too much of firepower for them in Indian conditions,
Yeah.
um, and I don't think the pitches will be too spin friendly, because I think if that's the case, then that would bring Bangladesh into it as well. But it's going to be interesting. But honestly, I can't see any other result than India winning 2-0, which is a bit of a shame because we wanted a competitive series.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get one.
Yeah. Although, I mean, the English series against India was competitive. It's just that England didn't know how to balance their baseball, and then they kind of let India into the game. But that's another long story, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick recap of this T20 series. I know this is gonna be next month, but I won't be next month. So I'm gonna go with India to win this T20 series 3-0. I know that's a bit disrespectful towards Bangladesh, but that's how I feel about it. And you, UV?
2-1.
Interesting. To India, right?
Yeah.
And you, Avish?
Yeah, probably another whitewash, eh? I just think India have got too much of firepower for Bangladesh.
Okay. All right. By the way, UV, you mentioned something about you not being happy about India's makeup. What would you rather have India do with their test makeup? Because I think they have quite a good test team, eh?
They've got quite a good test team, but they don't have their best players on show.
So, which players would you rather have for India?
I'd rather have fast bowlers, Mayank Yadav, Umran Malik, Kartik Tyagi. I'd rather see them being given a chance. You've got a test series against Bangladesh. Come, bring these guys in. Give them a shot.
Hmm.
Can,
Yeah.
can I
I
just
don't.
throw one more name
Sure.
in there?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sarfaraz Khan.
I'd
I think
like
I
that
think I
too.
think I think I think you got to give him more opportunity in the series. Sarfaraz
Hmm.
Khan in the middle order. Yeah. If this is the series where you can actually try and experiment with your team, and by the time the Australia series starts in November, you probably got to have your best team on the park. So I think this is a series where you're talking about Mayank Yadav if he's fit. I mean, he's a great talent. We saw in the IPL last year. I mean,
Hmm.
he bowled rockets. He bowled absolute rockets.
Hmm.
And Sarfaraz Khan, I mean, he's been really dominating the domestic scene uh, in India. So I think he deserves an opportunity to show what
Hmm.
he's worth.
Agree.
Okay. Yeah, I've always had this philosophy, and I know this might sound naive, but considering India's playing against Asian nations at home, I've always thought they should prepare Western type pitches so that when they tour to the Western nations, they have that preparation. It's okay when Western nations like SA come to India and they have those spin tops, but I've always felt that India should be doing these sort of things. Imagine if Bangladesh come and they prepare these usual spin tops. I think they're just defeating the purpose because they'll be touring to Australia. So I think, or maybe they might just prepare those types of Western pitches. I don't know if you agree with me, Yuvi, that India should be doing that.
I would like to see it. I want to go back to what Avish just said. Sarfaraz Khan coming in. Great idea. Do I see it happening? Hell no. Ajita Karka is still chairman of selectors.
You really love Ajit Gaka, don't you?
He's too conservative. He's too damn conservative. Excuse my
Oh,
language,
yeah,
but
that's
yeah.
true. That's okay. It's okay. And Avish, do you concur with my viewpoint?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, as I said, if they're going to be preparing spin leagues, that might bring Bangladesh into the equation. So I just want to find out, where are they playing actually? What are the venues?
Okay, let me just double check. One is in Chennai and the other one is going to be in Kanpur.
Oh, so that really doesn't help, eh? That really doesn't help
Exactly.
much, because Chennai is more of a spinning track. So you're not really going to
Both
get
of them.
much purchase for the seamers there. And then
Both of them.
Kanpur, it's been a while since there's been a test match in Kanpur, eh? So I'm not sure what is that Green Park in Kanpur.
No, I
Green.
watched Syed Mushtaq Ali recently and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
turning wicket. Turning wicket.
Oh, so I
Ah,
mean, this is definitely a deliberate move from India to try and prepare pitches and obviously get venues to suit their spinners. But I mean, they got a big series coming up this November, and it would have been good practice. But let's see what happens, because I think these venues are too much in favor of the spinners.
But then knowing India, right? Even with these venues, they can easily like tell the groundsman to just put some grass in there to prepare. I think they did that for the South African series when they played against Sri Lanka and they prepared similar type of pitches for what they would have prepared. I think it was happening many years ago. So India could do that, but then maybe I'm being too optimistic.
Possibly, but I would have think more Western pitches would have been better for them.
Yeah, as Yuvi said, it's not a bad opportunity for India. With no disrespect towards Bangladesh, it's kind of. I think any issues you guys would like to bring up, starting with you, Yuvi.
First thing, I think we must not underestimate the fact that Bangladesh have two really good seam bowlers. They're not as fast as some of the Indians that I mentioned, but they can move the ball around. So it could be a pretty competitive one if we had some Western type pitches.
Okay, and any issues you would like to bring up, Avish, before we kind of wrap up the chat?
Yeah,
I don't know what other issues. Yeah,
just what Yuvi alluded to. I think Tuscan Ahmed is a danger. He can really swing that new ball. Tuscan Ahmed is the guy that you've got to watch out for. And as I'm saying, Bangladesh, he can't be taken lightly. They got some experienced guys there, especially in that middle order. Monimal Haq, you got Shakib, you've got Mushfiqar. There is some experience there. So you're not going to blast those players out. You got to get them out with good balls. So India are going to be very careful that they don't underestimate this team, because I mean they're just coming off an historic time with Pakistan, which is no mean feat.
Yeah, I forgot to bring up. I forgot to mention that series. Oh gosh, I just realized I can't believe I dismissed that series. Not say dismissed, I forgot to mention about it. So starting with you, Yuvi, what were your thoughts on Bangladesh beating Pakistan 2-0? If someone had told me that, I would have laughed my head off.
Do we know if any money changed hands there?
How controversial. That is controversial, man. Mind blowing. I'm not sure.
No, but honestly speaking, Pakistan went in with a side that was not their best side. They played below par. I don't think
the pitches were pathetic.
That's just a joke.
I know, but the pitches were pathetic at best.
To me, it was bad pitches, yes. But even on bad pitches, with the bowling attack, the quality of bowling that Pakistan possesses, if they played the best side, they should have won.
100%. Do you concur with that, Avish?
I'm going to say what I said 2 weeks ago. It doesn't matter what Pakistan team they put on the park. They should be beating Bangladesh at home, in home conditions. So what we saw from Pakistan in this series was an absolute shambles. A team that doesn't have a style of play. They're unsure about their batting lineup, their approach. I mean, if you look at both tests, there was a kind of a trend there. Second innings collapses from Pakistan. First test, second test, it happened again. So, yeah, I don't know. There's so much of politics, so much of chaos going around Pakistan. I mean, I can only imagine what Gary Kirsten is going through now, being the head coach of that team. Because if you're talking about chaos, I mean, this team.
Gillespie handles the test team. He does the one-day team, Gary Kirsten.
Sorry, Gillespie. Is it Gillespie, eh? Yeah, I mean, there's so much of politics at the moment. I mean, we were talking about which players were actually, would have been good fits for this team. Obviously, Haris Rauf. But I believe Haris Rauf opted out of this series because he was focusing more on T20s, which is obviously, I think the Pakistan Cricket Board's doing, because they should be look after their players. They should be, being able to get their best talent on the park for test matches, and I don't think they did. I think they were outfielded, outbatted, and outbowled in the series, completely outplayed. And looking at the results, you could see. So, geez, they need to get past this one quite quickly, hey, because this one is going to stink for a very, very long time.
Yeah, the sad state of affairs, man. Okay, I think that's pretty much a wrap. Thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, Yuvi. Great chatting to you guys.